Sky Sports News. Go ahead.
Hi Ben, congratulations on the man of the match and well done on a fantastic performance. How would you sum up the final day?
Yeah, I mean, great days, Test cricket. Obviously we went into the last day here with, all three results possible. Obviously we knew what we had to do with, needing to win this game. We didn't have any other option except to sort of put the throttle down this morning and try and get as many runs as we could to almost put the game out of the reach of West Indies, which we managed to do. And then, obviously with the ball throughout the whole day, I thought, everybody was absolutely phenomenal. So really good day for us as a team.
We saw you pull up at the end and couldn't finish that over. Any doubt about your fitness going into the next Test match?
No, just body started to get really stiff there. I spoke to Brody, who was in mid-on, and just said, "Look, man, I'm really starting to get stiff here." And he just said, just stop." Especially with him being 9 down, obviously made it a bit easier decision, but no, I'm absolutely fine.
The next selection is going to be interesting, isn't it? But there's, of course, Archer, Wood and Jimmy on his home grounds set to come back. But how do you drop Broad after coming back with 6 wickets?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great position to be in. As I said after the first Test match, that we've got so many bowlers to pick from who we know can all win you games. Obviously, we'd rather be in that position as a team, and then selectors obviously would rather be scratching their head who to pick, as opposed to being an easy decision. But everybody throughout this Test match, Brody, Wilksy, and Sam, obviously the first game in a long time, all put in some great performances and really put their names forward. So whoever gets a nod for the next Test match, we all know that they'll be able to go out and perform and win the game.
Just finally from me, it was an incredible personal performance from yourself. Have you ever played 2 more contrasting innings than the ones we saw?
Yeah, obviously they're different, but obviously the game dictated those innings, and obviously this morning it was just about going out and getting as many runs as we could in the short amount of time that we knew we were going to bat. We had a set plan in terms of how long we were going to spend out there, but obviously when everything goes to plan in terms of getting those runs quickly, it makes it a lot easier. We knew we had to try and win this Test match, and obviously with the way that losing that day of play to rain obviously didn't help. But I don't think that just today has won us this Test match. I think there was a real crucial bit with the new ball that Stewart and Wilksy really got us back into this Test match. West Indies were looking set to go on and get closer to our score, but the way that they bowled with that new ball yesterday was phenomenal and really got us back into the game.
Thank you, well done.
Cheers.
Thanks, Jeremy. Rory, and then Dean, please.
Ben, if we can just go back to sort of first thing this morning, you're asked to open the batting for the first time in your career, pretty much. These days, is there anything that actually, any sort of challenge that is put in front of you that daunts you and sort of gets on top of you? Because you're asked to score exceptionally quick runs against Kemar Roach and Shannon Gabriel with the new ball, and you go ahead and do it.
Oh, I mean, look, I think obviously the game where the game was, there's no other option really. We knew we had to obviously try our hardest to capitalise on those few overs that we had yesterday to obviously still score runs. Even though we lost some wickets, I still felt that coming off the field yesterday, we still managed to score about 4.5 runs and over. So obviously that gave us a great position this morning to go out and be able to play the way we did. And we've got such a versatile batting lineup that even if we did lose some quick wickets this morning, I'm pretty sure we still would have been able to get the runs that we did this morning.
And on a personal level, we know you like a bit of graft. Were you happier with the sort of 2 long marathon spells of bounces that both got the job done for the team, or were you happier with getting the ball hit around the park today?
It's just a case of doing what's needed at the time. It wasn't a set plan to go and do that, but once we turned to it, we felt that it sort of looked threatening. And not only is it a plan that we feel can get us a wicket, but it also really drives the scoring rate up because we set certain fields to it that sort of you can't really go anywhere as a batter. We've obviously done it for a few years now, and we've had some great success with it, not only from a wicket-taking point of view, but also from controlling the rate. Obviously it's a different type of bowling, but something that all of our bowlers are very used to doing. And it's great that we've got a bowling unit that can change, mentality, whether that be, I don't know, bowling to 7-2 or whatever it is. We're all able to change throughout the gears, and obviously it was my turn today and the other day to run in and bowl, heavy sculler bounces.
Okay, Dean, and we'll take one more after that. We've got Roots to come in as well. Thank you.
Ben, did you feel as though this was your most complete performance, just in terms of the wide range of things that you had to do? We talked about the contrasting innings, the bowling. You were at silly point at one stage. Did it feel as though this was sort of everything that you've got to offer as a cricketer?
I don't know. Don't really think of it like that, to be honest. I mean, it's more of just whatever's required at the time. Obviously, I'll try and go out and do what's needed. I mean, look, obviously it's gone well for me this game, but there's so many different periods throughout the game where somebody's done something to really swing this game back towards us. And I keep saying that new ball spell, the second new ball from Brody and Moxie, really did change that game back towards us, because West Indies were looking set to get close to our score. But how they managed to bowl there and take those quick wickets, honestly, I think is a massive area which allowed us to win this game. That might get overlooked, but being out there and in the game and where it was going, looking back on that was a massive point in this game towards us winning.
Just touching on the work and the things that other players do you kind of feel as well your influence on them and the way in which you're able to help guys on? I think perhaps about Dom Sibley as well. You've shared a couple of big partnerships with him now, both Cape Town and here. And he identified sort of, the fitness aspect of things, watching you train really inspired him to kind of do the same, and it's paying off with results for him, another 100 for him. Do you kind of see the influence that you have?
Obviously it's great to be looked at like that. I'm not the only one who does that. That's the mentality in this group at the moment. It's, obviously we put a lot of hard work on the field to get performances like today and throughout this whole test match. But, everybody really puts in, and there's a real understanding that all the hard work that you put, that you do behind the scenes will benefit you on the field. That's a really great place to be in as a team, that, we're so committed towards each other, and understanding that, the hard work that you do put in outside of your skills to do with cricket is obviously going to benefit yourself, which obviously is going to benefit the team. So, it's a great place. It's a great environment for all these new, young and inexperienced guys at test level to come into. And it's really going to benefit them going forward. It's an exciting place to be at right now with one of the senior players. And, it's amazing to see all these young guys be, successful out and at the highest level possible. And, I'm really pleased for Dom that obviously he's gone away in the winter, and, he worked out an area where he felt like he could get better at, and he's absolutely nailed it, to be honest. And then obviously he's reaping the rewards with his last two knocks. A really good 50 when we needed it at Southampton, and obviously a brilliant 100 here.
Okay, last one, Stefan, please.
Hi, Ben. Obviously, you put in those performances because you want to do well and win test matches for England. But are you aware just how much enjoyment and how much of a lift you might be giving to people who've been going through a tough time, or might still be going through a tough time, given what's gone on in the past few months?
I think we've all got an understanding of what we represent, and obviously, the role models that we are. We've been, me personally, obviously, I've been around quite a long time now, and obviously have that understanding that, we sort of want to pave the way for, England cricketers in 20 years' time. And, it's not obviously all about, the present. Obviously a big thing for us is taking that cap forward. So in 20 years' time to hopefully still have that motto floating around the dressing room of still taking that cap forward. You know, I hope it's still there, because it is a big thing for us, you know, inspiring the next generation of cricketers who want to be in our position. So, you know we've obviously got a duty on the field to win games, but we also understand that we've got a big duty to, you know, to all the, you know, the youngsters in the country who want to aspire to be in the position that we are.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, guys.
We'll throw back to Jeremy at Sky. Are you there, Jeremy?
Yeah, hi Joe, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Joe, there are man of the match performances and there are man of the match performances. I mean, this surely must be a legendary performance by Ben Stokes. Would you put it up there with Headingley last summer?
Yeah, I mean, he just seems to get better and better. I think one thing that this game showed more than any other is his ability to read different situations and his adaptability, his versatility. You know, he can do so many different roles with the bat. That first inning showed great maturity, read the situation very well, and I thought him and Sibbers really did set the foundations. You know, third time in 4 games now we've got 400 plus, which is a massive step forward for this batting group and for us as a team, and something to build on. And he really led the way with that. And then, you know, you look at the rest of the game, his impact with the ball, he made something happen when nothing was. You know, ran in and on a very, what seemed at that point with that old soft ball, a very flat wicket, he made things happen and changed the game in some ways there. And then to come out and blast it, as we've seen before, put us in a position where we could really be in control today. Having those extra runs were very valuable. It meant that there was only really 2 possibilities in terms of the result, and it gave us a little bit more breathing space, and we could attack a little bit more on occasions because of it.
He's a test.
No, I don't think so. I think he obviously felt something, but you know, I think he just wanted to make sure that he didn't really hurt himself.
Selection for the next one's going to be interesting because, of course, Archer, Wood and Jimmy could come back, and how can you leave out Stuart Broad again, possibly after what he's done and what he said last time?
Yeah, I mean, from the outset, the start of this summer, having everyone fit and available, and putting in performances previously, it's always going to be a challenge throughout the whole summer. But to have so many options to choose from is fantastic place to be, and it's something that we've wanted for a long period of time. And I don't think we should moan about it at all. I think it's something that we should celebrate, and you know, it will be tough, and it'll be tough on whoever misses out, but it's a great place to be for us, and something that we want to, you know, to be the case moving forward for a long period of time.
Thanks.
Can we go to Will, please?
Joe, it might sound a silly question, but do you feel a very lucky captain to have Ben Stokes in your team? Just the amount of options you've just described there that he brings?
Yes. I don't really know what else to say apart from yes, because as I've mentioned, he's got so many different skills that he brings to the team. Right? He's played a role for us this game with the ball, which you know, you can use him in a completely different way as well. But it's something he's been successful with in the past, and it gives us another option within that attack. And then you know, he's a genuine all-round player. It's something that you don't see genuine all-rounders in world cricket. You know, you get guys that have certain strengths, favour either batting or bowling. But I think he is someone that genuinely you can turn to, and he will change you a game.
There's obviously a lot of stuff that we don't see, sort of magnetic effect he has on those around him. Can you just talk a bit about that?
Well, yeah, he's your ideal senior player, really. He goes about his business extremely professionally. He works extremely hard on his game. I think over the last couple of years, his batting has gone up a couple of levels, not just a level. He's really added to what was already a very complete game. And I think that was shown in the first innings in particular. You know, the way that he played within himself for long periods of times. He managed some difficult situations, and along with Dom, set up the game completely. But you know, those are great examples for what is a very young batting group. And when they see him go and do that, and the way he practices alongside that as well, it's great for them to see that, learn from, and then try and apply that to their own games too.
Okay, Tim Wigmore and then Ali Martin, please.
Hi, Joe. Word on your other all-rounder. Chris Wokes became, I think, the third quickest Englishman to 1,000 runs and 100 wickets for England. What's his value to the side when he's not always in the first 11? So what's he brought to the team?
Well, one thing you always get with Wokes is he's one of the most consistent blokes on and off the field you could wish for. He's very dependable. You always know what you're going to get with him. And he's, again, one of those senior players that sets a fantastic example for any young player coming to the squad. You watch how he operates, you watch how he practices and goes about things. He's Mr. Dependable, someone that you can always rely on and know that what you're going to get from him. And for him to be sat on the sidelines at times, it's very hard to see because especially in these conditions, in English conditions, how useful he can be and what damage he can do.
We always say he's sort of underrated, but it sounds like within the England group that's not the case. Do you want to know how good he is?
Not at all. No, not at all. We all know what he's capable of doing. He's proved both with bat and ball across the formats that he's invaluable to our group. And it's, as I say, it's great to have so many fantastic options available at the moment. And in terms of all rounders, you look at Sam as well, and of course Ben. We're blessed with some very talented players in that department.
Okay, Ali, and then Gideon, and we'll take a couple more after that.
Thanks. Hi, Joe. Now that the dust has settled a little bit, can you just talk us through your sort of take on the Jofra Archer detour to Hove? And is that the kind of thing that will be a factor when you sit down to selection, or is it very much it's done and he's foot free and available pending his obviously test results?
Yeah, I think it was obviously disappointing from our side of things. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's been through a disciplinary meeting and he's very aware of the consequences now of his actions, and he's very remorseful about what he's done. And as a side, we try to make sure that, as mates and teammates, that we've been there for him in many respects. But he's very aware that he made a massive error. And I think once that disciplinary's gone through and that it's been made very aware what his punishment is, I think now is time for us to look at it as available to be selected.
Okay, Gideon, please.
Hi, Joe. If Chris Wokes is Mr. Dependable, do you have a Mr. title for Ben Stokes?
Mr. Incredible, I suppose. I can't really think of a better one. He probably looks a bit like him as well, that cartoon character that knocks around. He's similar sort of shape. He's probably a little bit skinnier than him now, but he'd probably end up looking like that. So, Mr. Incredible suits, I reckon.
Brilliant. Dean, please, and we'll finish with Chris Stokes.
I'm not sure I can follow that. Can you just kind of contrast Headingley last summer and here? Obviously, two similar performances from Ben, but one has an iconic image of 30,000 people all jumping out together, spraying beer on each other, and obviously here you can hear a pin drop, and not quite the same, is it?
Yeah, I think. From a skill point of view, it's very hard to. Everyone forgets his bowling within that game at Headingley as well, and the impact that he had with the ball. It's very difficult to compare the two on a number of levels. I think the situation, the magnitude of it being an Ashes series, the series on the line, running out of partners, running out of options, everything sort of seemed to be dead in the water, and being able to get us across the line at Headingley. I think here he showed a bit more versatility really within himself, and the fact that he's more of a complete player now. I think he'll thoroughly enjoy this week in a different way to Headingley on a personal front, and from a team point of view, it'd be very easy for us to sort of not appreciate how good a performance this was this week because of the lack of atmosphere within the ground. But I don't think that's the case. I think everyone understands that we are watching at the moment a player at the peak of his powers, at the peak of world cricket, delivering time and time again. And we have to savour that. We have to appreciate that and understand that we are, without trying to pump his tires too much, in the presence of greatness.
I'll do.
Brilliant. Chris, last one.
Not sure I can follow that one, Joe, but final one on Mr. Incredible. You know how much hard work he puts in behind the scenes. Do you think he can get any better than this right now?
I certainly think he can keep performing at this level, and I'd love to see him get better. His drive is certainly there to get better. I think the sky's the limit for him, really. You watch how he goes about things, and there's no reason why he can't keep performing this consistently. As I said, to have such a complete game in so many different gears and modes at your disposal allows you the ability to keep getting better. And I think most importantly, if he continues to keep reading situations the way he is and he keeps the confidence that he's playing with at the moment, there's no reason why we can't continue to see such brilliant performances as we have done this week and over the last 12 months, really.